Like my great grandmother is Potawatomi, so
Okay.
she's the original tribes of Chicago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's kind of hard to say because we were like kicked out in 1833 around
Okay.
that, and it was like called the Trail of Death.
Yes.
Um, So
Oh,
like
please.
so basically my grandma ended up coming back. Like my family came back like 100 years later. Well, my great grandma used to say, I guess when they were starting the Relocation Act, she
Right.
was living in like a studio apartment toward downtown, I guess, because I think
Mhm.
that's where the original American Indian Center started, was
Right.
in a studio apartment downtown, and then they moved into another space, and then kept moving into different spaces till they ended where they are now. And so she said a lot of natives would come off the train from downtown from the reservations,
Mhm.
and there would be other natives waiting down there by the train to kind of just like help them, guide them, tell them where they can get food, where they could like possibly get shelter. And some of the native elders too, because one of the native women who was living with my great grandma at that time, she later on became one of the founders of the American Indian Center. But she said that she never saw so many different tribes, that she didn't even know all those tribes existed. And so every time she met a different tribe or a person, she would write their name and their tribe down. And that was one of the first tallies of the people who were coming in, who were indigenous into Chicago. My grandma signed up, she found out about a lottery. My grandma, my dad's side, she found out about like a lottery for apartments. And so she signed up for the lottery. And at that time, my older brother was with her, as well as her other children. And then she actually won the lottery and got the apartment, which is the Voice of the People apartment.
Oh,
They said the meetings here in my building, my grandma used to attend the meetings. I think she was on the board for a time too. And
oh,
then and they used to have building meetings here down in the basement, and I'd be with Grandma and Miss Johnson preparing food and snacks, and then bring them downstairs, and then everybody would sit down there and, commune. There was also that group teen challenge,
that sounds familiar.
and she used to, help recover people coming out of jails, you know. So when they come out of penitentiaries, if they change their life in there, this organization like helps them get jobs, get on their feet, help their mentality. And my grandma used to bring them to our house, and we used to have them in our basement, and they would have like classes and like church and like meals and different things. And then she would also rent out the Indian Center and bring like Native American evangelists from, and share them over there. And I remember my mom used to tell me too, she used to say that like the Black Panthers used to come to the house, and they used
That would be me, me and Mark Kaplan and some others. Go ahead.
Yeah, she said they would like literature, and they would bring like food and just different things, sharing. And she was like, yeah, they just come over, we chit chat, they go around helping people, sharing information. One of the things when my dad used to tell me when they went down, and because they were fighting for tenant rights,
Uh-huh.
and he always says, yeah, I was one of the poster children. I was in the newspaper. They called me David and Goliath or something.
What was what was his name?
My dad's name is William Roberts.
Okay, William Roberts, go on.
And so then I guess, he said that back in the day, I guess some of the natives were helping too, and they set up like a teepee down over by Cubs Park or something, because I guess there was so many natives in Uptown.
American Indian Village, sure enough, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and he said that they were all like, fighting for the tenant rights so that they can't kick people out, there's different things. And he says he just remembers helping, and going with grandma and going with them and just going to like visit all the different people, going to get people together. And he remembers being in the demonstration, being in the Indian village and everybody camped out, and, and he used to share those stories with me. He was proud of that, because he felt like he helped. And I remember during the 80s and the early 90s, walking through Uptown with him, it was very a different experience than the place that we live in now. Like I remember my grandma would always say, yeah, we had quite the characters.